Hello everyone, and welcome to Board Games and Bourbon. I'm Jacob, and today I want to talk to you about Tidal Blades, Heroes of the Reef. Tidal Blades is a dice game designed by Tim and Ben Eisner, and published by Druid City and Skybound Games. In it, you play as one of 4 characters competing in the Tournament of Heroes, trying to win the most challenges and the judges' favor, in order to top the podium at the very end. We've been playing the Kickstarter Deluxe Edition that also includes the Angler's Cove expansion as well as upgraded components, but you'll get much the same gameplay experience with the standard edition that's currently available in retail. So now, let's dive in and give our verdict on the 5 things we liked about Tidal Blades, and 1 thing we didn't. One of the core concepts of Tidal Blades is that your characters will be participating in challenges that take place in one of 3 arenas. These challenges are arena specific, and are represented by cards with the arena symbol on them, as well as the specifics of the challenges themselves. A challenge can be attempted when a character is at the corresponding arena after completing their actions there. These challenges have sets of symbols that the player has to match using their dice. When all the required symbols have been matched, the challenge has been successfully completed. The player may choose to continue the challenge to complete the push goal, or they may just stop. Completing the challenge allows the player to increase the traits corresponding with the symbols, 1 tick each. Importantly, if a player cannot complete a challenge, but has matched some of the required symbols, they still get credit for those and may improve their traits. Along with the challenges, the other thing that the characters can do in order to gain prestige, improve their skills, and impress the judges is to fight monsters. These beasts are found out in the fold and are coming towards the city of Naviri, where the tournament is taking place. Fighting these monsters is done very similarly to doing the challenges. The characters go into the fold and have to roll dice to match the symbols on the monster cards. Any that are matched will again increase the trait with the same symbol for that character. There are some key differences from the challenges, however. First is that fighting monsters is more dangerous than taking part in a controlled arena challenge. This means that all dice used when fighting a monster are removed after the fight, which is a pretty hefty cost, especially when higher level dice are lost. This is somewhat mitigated by a few other things. The challenges completed by the characters, if they are of the same type as the monster, allow them to have an edge on it. This is represented by an additional die added to their pool from the supply. Also, the damage dealt to the monster doesn't have to be done at one time, and multiple characters can fight a single monster. Each damage token dealt by a character to a monster also counts as 1 point at the end of the game. Now, rolling dice in Tidal Blades can be a dangerous thing. Every time you roll any die, whether it's for a challenge or when fighting a monster, you also roll a danger die. This is an 8-sided die with 0, 1, or 2 X's on each side, representing how many dice must be lost due to the dangers of the trial. These dice are lost immediately and cannot be counted towards the completion of any challenges or monster requirements. Luckily, the players all start the game with shell shields. These cards allow players to place shells from their supply onto the cards equal to the number of X's showing in order to prevent the loss of those dice. But that's not their only ability. Each shell shield can only hold up to 6 shells, and these can be used to activate other abilities. For 4 shells, the player can turn 1 die onto any side without having to roll again. For 6 shells, the player can refresh 2 of their dice from the spent area to their active area. These effects are very powerful and make it so that using shells to mitigate X's doesn't feel like a waste, as it's charging up other abilities at the same time. Now, the dice used throughout the game are not all the same. Each player starts out with the white novice dice, which have an equal distribution of all the symbols on them. But these can be upgraded up to 4 times in order to specialize in certain symbols. This allows for a great trade-off, having some symbols more likely, allowing for each person to tailor their dice for the challenges they have in hand. The higher level dice also allow for the completion of certain challenges with fewer dice, as some have 2 of a symbol on a single face. One constant consideration throughout the game is also character progression. The character boards start with their traits at the lowest levels, and then each challenge attempted and monster fought will improve the traits based on which ones were successfully used. These traits themselves each govern different aspects of gameplay. Focus governs the maximum dice that a player can use for any given challenge or monster fight. Spirit governs how powerful the stunt cards are. Resilience governs how many dice the player can upgrade or refresh at the end of each round. And Synergy governs how many character cards a player has out. Improving each of these traits has a significant impact on the game, and choosing which one to focus on can also dictate the challenges and monsters attempted by each player. Plus, depending on where you are on the dial at the end of the game, you can also earn more endgame points. But all that being said, no game is perfect. And there is one thing that we didn't really like when playing the game. In the base game, the only consistent way of getting more dice, and especially higher level dice, is by going to the Chronoseum. At the Chronoseum, there are 3 spaces that give you dice. 1 for the first level blue die, 1 for the first level red die, and 1 for the 0 level novice white die. These action spaces can only be used by 1 person each round, and are usually the first ones taken during a round due to how useful they are. Most of the time, these are taken despite it not being the optimal play, as each player wants those extra dice and is afraid that those spots will not be around when it gets back to them. This really does give the impression that the Chronoseum has the most powerful action spaces of all of the base game boards. Now, the Angler's Cove expansion mitigates this somewhat by adding another island, and that includes a space which guarantees at least 1 novice die along with additional resources. It also has other action spaces that are similarly powerful, alleviating the rush to the Chronoseum at the beginning of each round. All in all, Tidal Blades is a very fun dice game, with a lot of dice mitigation mechanics that allow the randomness of the dice to be more of a push your luck mechanic than roll to resolve. The progression within the game also feels very tangible, as your characters improve passively through the challenges and monsters, while the threat of losing dice keeps anyone from becoming overly dominant. We really enjoyed playing this game, but we'd love to know what you think. Have you played Tidal Blades before? Have you been interested in it? Let us know down in the comments. If you like this video, let us know by pressing that like button and commenting down below. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe. And of course, be safe, be well, and we'll see you next time.